Good evening, friends. Welcome to Eason Academy. And we are into embedded system programming course on that is a C programming and session 4 or session 5. So today is session 5. And we are going to discuss about very important thing. It's about functions. Normally, most of the students have an issue. When I'm teaching them, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and the if is sufficient for you to do the big job. And nobody believes. Everybody thinks that, hey, how come such a small thing can do a big work? There's so many, they could see that the power of software, they know that. Then how come they were doing this such a big functions, the big task? So that is I think today's session will give you an answer for that. That is how we are using the small things to do a very big task. Understand? Normally we have the habit of getting into the programs and start solving the problem, but generally that is not advisable. I never given you any suggestion so far how to write a program. I have allowed you to write so freely as you wish. That is because I do not want to stop your creativity. The creativity is the most important than anything else, which I believe. And each and every one of you write a program different way. So I was not very interested to get into the creativity to get a process. But now I'll tell you a very small process. Okay. That is the most important thing you should start follow. The thing is, which I would have given you a small hint previously, but now I'll give you more clarity on that. Okay, I would have given you a small hint on the last class, but I want to give you more clarity now. Is because that's going to change the way we are going to write our programs. What is that? So we know that we have a big problem. We think that this programming on computer is different than we solve the problem. Okay. So every one of you are trying to think on the computer way. That's why you get stuck. You get stuck at some point. You say that I am unable to solve the problem. I get every day from people, sir, I am unable to solve the problem. Why is it? I tell you my trick, what I have done. This is not an advice or anything, it's a trick. I've done a trick. The trick, what I have done is only two things. The first trick is I always think, how do I solve? Then I try to convert that into program. It's a simple idea, concept, simple process. That is, you write a solution and convert that into program. Okay, that's a way things have to be done. This till the moment you learn it, that is, you write them in English first. Write on English or whatever language you have. Write them on your own language. And then after that, you can convert that to a program. Then convert it to coding. In this case, we are doing C coding. Okay. All right. So that's the way you should start doing that. In a program, I say start. I'll say get input. I'll say process, put output. That's the way I write on program. In English language, I write like it. Get two numbers from user. Then check whether the numbers, then do that. Okay, whatever you want to do, write it on English, normal English. Then this is slightly a cryptic way. But when you're C coding, you will start doing like this. Oh, hash include. Int main. Get input. Int A. Scanf percentage D, comma A. Then you say A, comma B. B is equal to A percentage 10. Print of. Am I right? So this is the way you write. You write it on English. When you get confused here, you have to go back here. And I know that this is not the way you think, and this is not the method we follow. Okay, in between these two only, you have something called flow chart. Right now, I'm not coming into that thing because that's when the moment I get it, will come later. Once you have started doing a good amount of programming, we'll get into the thing. When you start going to very slightly much more complex programs. So this is the way you do. See, that is why advantage is the moment you learn this methodology, tomorrow you move from C to C++, you will know how to convert this to C++. That is easy. You have to know only the C++ syntax or Python syntax or Java syntax. That's it. This is the way. Now I come into the picture now. Main point today. This is a trick. When I do that, get input, you can also say that in main, get input. Then check for error. If no error, process. Print result. You understand now? I'm asking you to write a program in English. This is if you write like this, int main. Right now, how you are writing the program is this. Right now, how you are writing a program is int A, comma B. A is equal to, sorry, scanf. Then B is equal to A percentage 10, whatever it is. Printf. Comma B. This is a program you written. You write bigger program, smaller program, whatever. I don't mind. That's not the thing. Now, what I am trying to say is this. When you start writing like this, so cryptic way, A, B, C, X, Y, Z, everything, if somebody reads your program, they will never understand. They never understand. So you write here, get input. You understand? But I'll tell you later what is this bracket. Get input. And then you'll say process input. And print output. This anybody can understand what you're doing? That's a trick. This is what makes this program big. How is it? Now let me explain to you more clarity. We have a bricks. We have bricks. Am I right? We put so many bricks to construct a small wall. Then we construct a room using the bricks. Then we put one more floor. We can start putting more floor. But all these things are based on the bricks and the walls. Am I right? Basic bricks and the walls. That's why people always call this as a building blocks. This word is always used everywhere. Building blocks. That's because everywhere, whenever you wanted to take a small thing and construct the big thing, this is what people do. Suppose I wanted to multiply a number. Okay, let's say now in a C, we know that C very clearly has 22 operators. C has how many operators? 22 operators. So you don't have any other operators. You have only addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and division, both two divisions, quotient and remainder. And you have AND, OR, NOT, XOR. People still think this is a square. No, this is a XOR in C. Then we have block AND, block OR, block XOR. That's all. Then you have an increment, decrement. You have a left shift, right shift. Am I right? You have only this much. Then less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, not equal to. That's all. You have only this much. But using these operators, how do you achieve more than thing? Let us say I wanted to do the x power 5 or x power 6. I want to do the thing. Every time if I have to do the thing, I have to write get input, scanf, and y is equal to a into a into a into. Understand? This is one thing I can do it multiply by 6 times. You understand? But this is not the way we write a program. This we write good. When you're starting the programming, it's good. But how do we do is it? We say that let's say you call a function called power. We call a function called power. Okay. And let us assume that you give a number, comma, how many times, and equal to the result, y. So you say int num comma y. You say int num comma y, scanf now you understand. Now, very unfortunately, when you try to compile this, when you try to compile this, the compiler, you give it a compiler. The compiler will I'm trying to write my own. I'm teaching you that how to write my own. I'm not trying to use the existing one. Okay. Now this compiler will come here and check that the compiler will go and check, oh, int, fine. It will allocate on symbol table. Num, some address. For y, some address. That's fine. Now it comes to scanf. Okay. But scanf is not part of C. Please understand, scanf is not a part of C. I told you on the last class itself, input and output. are not part of C language. And Dennis Ritchie himself said, scanf and printf is not part of your C language. Am I right? I didn't say that. So what is a scanf? That means that somebody, the compiler people, somebody has written already a full procedure of how to get the thing from a keyboard. It's a big program. There's a big program already written and kept it inside a place called library. This is called library. It's available. So this compiler goes and checks the library. Yeah, scanf is available. That's why you are including this. Telling him, hey, I'm going to use this library. There the function is there. Don't worry about that. Otherwise, he will give you error. Have you ever tried to compile without stdio.h? Have anybody tried to compile without stdio.h? Anybody has tried? Let me try now. Without stdio.h, what is happening? Am I right? We should know that. We are all getting into the slowly programming. We should know that. I don't know how many of you have tried. We have been a process told by somebody, so we have to follow. Okay, that's the reason. Let's try. Int main printf welcome to EKSL Academy. Am I right? I've written a small program. Let me save it. Oh, sorry, I'm not sharing it. Oh, God. Yeah, sorry, I did a mistake of not sharing that. Yeah, I've written a small program. Am I right? So I've written a small program. Is it clear? Welcome to ESL Academy. But I have not included hash into.h. Now I try to compile this. See, this guy is given error warning, implicit declaration of function printf, warning, incompatible built-in function printf. Okay, but he says 0 errors and 2 warnings. How come he is giving 0 errors? Now, let me run the program. Yeah, welcome to ESL Academy. It is running fine. Your program is running fine. So please understand the use of these two in a function, include.h and the other one. So what exactly it does, because we are going to use that nowadays, coming days. So please understand, this is called include. The other one is called library. So please, this is called library. This is called header file. Header files tell the compiler, hey, I am using scanf, which is available here. That's it. He does not give the actual code is somewhere else. That's in library. This is, you can call it as a content. Let us say you go to the library. The library, you know, there's a catalog. There's a catalog. The catalog, you will find that what books are available. I understand. So this is like catalog. What functions are available? But the actual book is here, the inside the library. That catalog is not a book. So you have to go there and check the book in the library. If you give a catalog and the book is not available, then he'll give you error. I mean, I understand. So please make sure that difference between a hash include and library. We'll discuss about in depth. The C itself is having a big process. It is called, C has so many steps. One is called pre-processor. Second one is called compiler. Third one is called assembler. Fourth one is called linker. Fifth one is called loader. Sixth one is called execution. There are so many steps, but you just do the compilation. What we do is we press the button, compile. Of course, it does all these things. This all the 6 processes are taking place. Okay, please understand. But we'll discuss about these 6 data right now. Right now, I'm coming to the point where these informations are required for you. Otherwise, you don't understand something. So now the problem is, I have written power here, my own function. This power is not declared anywhere. The power is not declared anywhere. But it is not inside library also. It is not inside library also. Okay. So what the compiler will do, he will throw me an error saying that I'm unable to find the power. Okay, let us do the code and see that how it is doing that. Let us write a small thing what errors is doing. Now I write a code here. I do not printf now. No printf, because I'm not going to use printf now. When you don't use printf for scanf, you don't have to put the hash include. Now I say that int a scanf %d, comma, and a. Since I'm using scanf, I will include the stdio. Fine. It's called standard input output. Okay. So now I say that y is equal to power of a. We need to understand the importance here. Let me see, undefined reference to power. So it's a 2 errors. Let me start explain here. See, please try to understand what I have done now. Let me remove this. Let me put the comment on this. Let me put the comment on this. Then let me execute this. Let me put a comment on this. Now I'm executing this program. Okay. I'm compiling, sorry. See that? Warning, implicit declaration, it said power did not main. Am I right? He may be asking you, giving you some clues. But when I have declared here, that warning is removed. It was showing only the what is called undefined reference to power. Is not, see, he say undefined reference. That means he is not able to find it on library. That's only he is saying. So it is your responsibility to write here I'll explain the whole thing in 2 minutes. Now I'm just explaining, I'm just giving you the idea. Then I'll explain to you the whole thing. There are some small tricks that you need to understand this. See, now I got 0 errors and 0 warnings because I have written a small another code. This code is called, this is doing a small task. So this is called function. This is called function. So this, the power is called function. The function is doing a task. Understand? It's doing a specific task. That is what you have to practice slowly. Now first you are learning how to write a program. Then you have to start slowly learning how to write functions. So I'll tell you now what is the programming sequence you are going to learn. That is what the art of today, 2022. If you want to grow faster and bigger, then you have to have a different methodology altogether. That better you learn it now. Start practicing that. Okay, so what is that? The practice we are doing today. What happened? People ask me that why people are using so much thing in Python. What is the difference between C and Python? Am I right? Everybody have a big problem in the thing. We will try to give an answer by today. If today I'm not able to do it, I'll try to extend the class to Wednesday also. Don't worry. I think this time alone, I'll have it on Wednesday. And Wednesday, I'll conduct the one more session of continuing this session. If I could not complete it today, because this session is slightly important. So please understand what, when I have given a task, nowadays what you're doing, given a task, if you're given a task, you write a small code from the available of the C language. Except two things. One is scanf and printf. These two is not part of C language. I told you these are part of C library. And the F represents function. That's why Dennis Ritchie specifically did not use the word called scan and print. Because before Dennis Ritchie came, C, there were languages called basic and dot. They had a function called print. This is part of the language. But Dennis Ritchie wisely did a good thing of removing this input and output away from the language. That's why today we can able to do a lot of work with the you will come out later called sprintf and dot. Fprintf, sprintf. You can directly write into a file and dot. This is only output and input. Forget it. So he had a F to tell that this is a function. So there's a big difference between function and the language. That if I say function, that does a specific task using some C language code. That's it. This is a program. So as a C programmer, what you are doing now is you are writing a small program using C languages. But how you have to slowly grow is like this. I'll tell you when. I'll give you problems based on the task next. Functions next, once you have done the level. Next, there, you will start writing everything with the small functions. Let's say, I want to check example. I want to check a number is prime or not. If I ask you anybody to write a program, a number is prime or not, how do we write a program immediately is this. Int main scanf, int, whatever it is, number, percentage d, and num. Then you blah blah code. Then finally you say printf number is prime or number is not prime, whatever it is, you do the thing. But now that is not right. That's what I'm trying. Not right. That's okay initially. But slowly, what you have to do is now is you have to check now number comma result. Then result equal to what is prime number. You understand now? If result equal to 0, then printf not prime. Else prime. If somebody asks you to write a program to check whether a number is prime or not, this is the way you should write the code. Not now. First, initially start writing your way. I'm not stopping. Later, slowly. That's why I'm explaining your functions. Then this is not available. So you should write now is prime. And what is the input? You have to give a number. Number is what? Integer. So you should give integer number. Then what is the output? It is going to give you the result. Say int result. Then you say return. You want to, this is a structure of a function. That means that, and this, the result is an integer type. So this is called, we always write the int. That means that, so now if I call this function, you will understand that, hey, this function returns an integer, it takes an integer, it does this function. That's the meaning of this. So a function has 3. Body and input and the output. But what's only one trick. I can have here any number of int number 1, int number 2. I can have any number of inputs, but the function will give only one output. You cannot take multiple outputs in function. Please understand. In C, function will give you only one output, not multiple outputs. So this is the way people start doing that. So first you write a small functions. I have so many functions. Function 1, function 2. Okay, I have so many functions, small functions. Understand? Function 4. Each one is doing one could be doing a square root. One could be using a power. One could be checking for his prime. One could be doing the checking is it odd. Whatever, I'm just giving an example. You write so many functions. Then using these functions, we built another level of function. You understand? So now using this, we built another functions. So you will call one single function. For example, here printf. You will call one function. That guy will call these two functions. They say x and y. If I say the bracket, that means function. If I put x, if I put like this, x, that is a variable. If you put x double bracket, then it's a function. That's why we write here. And inside you can pass any parameters. We learn. See, try to understand the very top level. Then we'll understand the exact syntax when we are going into the C language. When you're learning programming, don't seriously go into the syntax. So please understand, this is the best way of writing a code. That's the way the whole language is built. For example, if you say Python, it is built like this, so many of functions. Yeah, if you have a doubt, ask me. Don't tell me a doubt. That's the reason I'm here. If you have a doubt, ask me. Correct. I've written the result is prime. Correct. I ask. That means that I have written in the main function. The main function, I've written a code saying that result equal to is prime int num. Correct. What is the doubt here? So this guy will give an answer either 0 or 1. 0 means non-prime, 1 means prime. That's it. No, this is, see, like it's just any statement. See, there's a very simple. In a statement, you say sum is equal to, say, you'll say, fine. I think there's a basic thing I'll explain to you now. See, both are same. Now I'll say that I write a program int a comma b comma sum. Now I'll say sum is equal to a plus b. All right. Now I print of comma sum. Understand? I'm going to print this result here. That's it. This is a very simple which you are doing every day now. Now what I'm trying to say is that learn to convert this into this way. Int a comma b comma sum. Sum is equal to same, but only difference is now you call a function called add a comma b. So you understand, I'm calling a function called add. Both are same. Now you say printf comma sum. But very fortunately, C has this symbol as a language. The C language has a plus. So compiler will not give error. But this add is not a part of C language. So when you try to compile this, you will get error. So you should write a function called add. You are getting A and B, both are integer. Both are integer. I say integer A, comma, integer B. I got it. So that is going to come to me. Then what I'm doing here, internally I'm declaring int sum, because which I'm not giving. So I have to declare locally. Then I say sum is equal to A plus B, return sum. Since what I'm returning is a sum is nothing but an integer. So I have to add here integer. That means that I have to tell the compiler I'm returning integer. Okay. Do you understand the difference between these two? Now, previously what happened, I used the C language operator, but add is not part of the C language. So I have to write my own add. That's a trick. Correct. This is a lengthy process. You are right. But what is advantage? That is what we are going to discuss. Looks to be a lengthy process for you, but this is the approach called modular approach. This is a modular approach. That's the advantage. And the function will do a lot of things. Here for example, I told you add. If you just start writing, this is the way you have to practice. I'm asking you to practice this. I'm not saying that this is a limitation of the function. Understand? When I do add here, I may do so many checking here inside. I can do a lot of work here. That's why we have to learn slowly, start writing. This is very good when you start writing a code, bigger code. When you start writing, then and another advantage of this function is, I'll tell you now. I'll tell you what is the other advantage. So what you are doing is, you are trying to write a function. Right now, in this case, I am doing the same thing as a plus, which is available in the language. Am I right? Suppose we don't have a thing called A, B. This is what most people think is a power, which is not there. Okay, square root, so many things. So, please understand. I'm giving you a very small example of this now, but we can write bigger one. So, so this is the way we are going to. You start writing with a very simple thing you'll understand. That is, I am offloading my function into the another function. That's why they call this as a function. And there are two types of functions. One is, I'll tell you one more important thing. That has to be the thing you should know when you're writing thing. When I say int main, this is also called a function. This is also a function. Please understand. Int main is a function. That's why we'll start with int. Int. I say scanf, sorry. A is equal to 10. B is equal to 20. C is equal to add A comma B. I'm adding a function now. Understood? Now, since I'm calling a function add, I should have a function called add. And C is returning is an integer. So I put integer. This is a very, very important point. Please note it down. That has to be understood very clear now. It is, I say here, int C is equal to A plus B. See, don't worry about these things. These are all called example. You can write any big code here. What is important is the structure. How we are going to write the structure. Yeah, that's correct. That's what I said. Int A, comma int B. That's correct. So there is a trick here. In a memory, this ABC has a separate area. Main A, main B, main C. And this ABC or separate area. Add A, add B. Please understand this. These two are not same. When you are calling this function, this 10, see, you put A equal 10, 10 goes here. You put B is equal 20, 20 goes here. When you call add A comma B, this 10 is coming here. This 20 is coming here. This count 10 and 20. Then this guy is adding C. He declared C here. That is this C. When you say that A plus B, this becomes 30. Then when you are returning, this goes there. And that's why you are putting a equal to. That time, the result is storing it on C. C became 30. This is a process. You understand? So If you say here internally, if I say now here, see here. Am I right? Return. See. Understand now. I put A is equal to 15 here. So this becomes 15. I'm adding A plus B. 15 plus 20, 35. If I do printf here, percentage D, comma, A, comma, C. The problem is this printf is inside your main function. Main A is 10. So you will get the answer 10 and 35 only, because the 35 is a return value. Do you understand? You don't get 15. Even though you changed A here, this A is part of this block, not this block. But there is one more thing is that you can do that. If I do, instead of doing it inside, if I do it outside, see, this is common for both. This is common for both. You understand? Now I call a function now, just Shuma, add. See here, I don't pass any parameters now. Then if we say only one place, that is, yeah, that's called global variable. You are right. That's called global variable. We generally don't. I don't advise you to do now. Right now, don't get into the thing. I just explained to you now how it is at the top level called global. Correct. Yeah. You have to write hash include, and you say int ABC at the top. If you declare any variable outside the function, they are called global. Inside the function, these are called local to the function. We will discuss that very detailed in our storage class session. Then you will understand what is called storage class, please. So this is the small idea I'm trying to give you. So never get confused between the variable used here and used there. These two are totally different. And start writing a small functions. Small after you solve about 35 problems. I'm giving you, even I'm adding, I told you, I've added now. I'll start doing it from tomorrow. Increase the problems. Okay. Right. First step. See, this is the problem. We don't get confused. Step one, don't worry about this. Step one is start writing code. That's a step one. Step two is convert the same old code into simple functions. Start writing. So you will understand how to write meaningful functions. Third, how to write a readable code. Then go to the next steps. So when you start writing a code, bigger code, then how to write a readable code, I'll explain to you the coming classes, or maybe on Wednesday class. I have one more class on Wednesday. Let us see. I think today I could not. I want to explain some more thing about functions. Okay, that's not possible today. That requires a session on that. I'll explain to you that how to write a simple functions and how to write a readable code. The readable code writing is a very trick, because you write a code and give it to someone, Today, the whole world is working on collaboration. That means that in a big software, there will be hundreds of people will be working. Everybody will write a small piece of code, and somebody will review, and somebody will debug, and somebody will find the mistakes or do enhancements. In that case, if you start writing like right now, int ABC, XYZ, nobody can understand. I don't tell these things in the initial days, the first week of the first 2-3 weeks, because I don't want that I don't want to stop the creativity. If you put some more, this is all very simple one, not a difficult one. That readable code writing or writing in the simple functions, this is all quite easy. Process-wise, quite easy. But unfortunately, we are not. We are not attuned to the this one. What do you call it? Writing it is a bigger way. This is actually called indirectly documentation. We generally say that a right code, a nicely written code, need not have to require any comments. If you could able to write a code without comments, and still people could able to understand. That's it. Slowly. See, don't this is all about, I told you, no? This is all about a skill. Never try to push yourself beyond the limit. Then you will lose the charming of the learning skill. Go one by one. There's no rushing up, running or hurry or anything. But ultimately you should be the winner. The more you sustain, the more you consistent, you are the winner. Okay. I give a problem such a way that you have to understand the problems. Okay, try to understand the problems. That with your understanding, write the code and send it to me. I'll be able to modify that and send it to you. Don't tell me that I don't understand the code. Understand the problem. You try to understand the problems as your ability. Then write the code. Okay. Try to understand. What you'll understand the problem some level. Am I right? With that, write the code. Enough. That's nothing. That's the way we have to go about it. So, functions are a superb thing of C programming is functions. What is the advantage of functions is, it is starting building blocks. So there are so many functions. There are 3 types. One is called standard function. Second one is third-party functions. And third one is user function. We'll explain this on Wednesday. I think that's why I'm requesting you to come on Wednesday evening session. If somebody is not coming, don't worry. It's absolutely unscheduled one in our schedule. And I thought I can explain the function in the short time. No, it's taking more time. So next schedule, I'll correct it. And this we'll have it on a Wednesday. We'll have a session on the evening, same 7 to 9. I'll explain this more about this, the functions. Okay, so start understanding the functions. Anyway, next C session, I will discuss about how the function of the C language. Okay, that's it. Then you will be able to correlate these two. Okay, there's nothing great in the thing. So I want you to write the user function, but ultimately you have to be good in using the third-party functions and the standard functions. This is the very power of your Python compared to C. Why Python is growing so fast is it has community-based lots and lots of functions. But you can ask me that why we are still using the C in embedded. I think if possible, I try to give an answer on Wednesday for both questions. Why we don't use Python in embedded? Why we are using C in embedded? And what is the advantage of Python is growing so fast in everywhere, which is not going into C. These are a very, very simple logic. You need to understand the simple logic. The moment you understand the simple logic, you will. The trick is what I'm trying to say is that the moment I start writing a code, we always start with immediately int main, int ABC, something like that. I'll tell you how to that not now, later date, how to generally do the code in the interviews. In the interview, if they ask you to write a software, there are two things. One is interview. Other one is online test, C test. In both, you should know how to write an online test. In both, you should know how to write the code. That will be very nice. That this functions plays a very, very vital role. So it's nothing. It's a very simple. What you are going to do the same thing. Instead of you are doing a big task, so many lines of code, 100 lines of code, you will split them into some 10 lines. And here you will have only 10 lines code. This will call this. The second one will call like this. So somebody read your code will easily understand this. So you'll be having a function 1, function 2 like that. So this is also advantage is this is going to be reusable by the other programs. You can write your own program that can be used. Okay, that is the advantage of functions. We'll discuss more on coming day that how these functions have helped build Python, Java, C, and everywhere. Where we exactly lack in C. That's we'll discuss. And today, embedded system programming. Today's embedded system program trick is all about functions. The embedded system program has grown so big now. The embedded system power is, you think that embedded systems are still like what do you call old 8051 small on the LED, off the LED. No. It's all gone beyond the level. Even you know that embedded machine learning and everything. Because of that, people expect you to handle the functions. You are most wanted in the companies if you know how to use functions. That's a trick. We'll discuss about that. But before that, continue your C programming lessons and your problems. Don't wait for this. But this we will discuss once again on Wednesday. And any other doubt you can ask me anytime on the WhatsApp or anywhere. But in C, for both in the computers and embedded system programming, this is playing a very vital role. Okay, understand. So very, very clarity. Okay, thanks a lot. With that, let me close this session, and we'll after about 5 minutes, we'll discuss about the C language, how these functions are handled in the C language.